come to listen to our first guest speaker, Mr. Abhinav Thakur, Managing Director at Accurex. Before that, I would like to give a quick introduction of him. Mr. Abhinav is a graduate of world-renowned University of California, Davis. He has completed his PGDM from NMIMS University, Mumbai. He is the Managing Director at Accurex since 2004. Due to Abhinav's dedication and passion, the company has grown 4.2 times in revenue and team strength has increased from 90 to 200 employees since he has been appointed as the Managing Director of the company. We should give a big round of applause to him.
Change is life. We always think, what is change? Change is the constant. But actually, I think change is life. So if you look at human race, or from the time the human race has started, 2 lakh years, humans have been on the earth. In last 2 lakh years, life was extremely slow. Change was not much. There was change. There was change in tools, in the way people lived, in the way people were having housing, etc. But the change was very slow. And then 10,000 years back is when the change started to happen very fast. And that is the time when the human race or the human being started agriculture. And we started living in communities and started building on agriculture. And in the 17th century, the agriculture revolution happened, which was a very big change for humans. During the agriculture revolution, we were able to mass produce food. Earlier, agriculture was happening through manual labor, and then came machinery through which agriculture started. And this caused a lot of change in the 17th century. So because food was enough, then came the next change. And the next change was the Industrial Revolution. This happened in the 18th and 19th century. And the person who had the bigger factories was the one who was powerful. So that was the Industrial Revolution, where we also had Henry Ford. We call him the father of manufacturing. He started the assembly line in the beginning. So after the 18th and 19th century change, we came to the next change, the next revolution. And the next revolution was called the information revolution, the change of information. And that is when the computer chip was invented and the internet came about. So during the agriculture era, the person who had the biggest farm had the most money. Industrial era, the person with the biggest factory was the most successful. And in the information era, the person with knowledge became powerful. And companies like Microsoft and Apple, they started becoming the biggest companies of the world. And thanks to the computer chip and internet, the world has become flat. Now companies can start doing sales and marketing at zero cost. Because of the internet, you can start selling your products at almost zero cost. Anyone can go online, list their products on websites like Amazon, Flipkart, etc. And now we have come to the era where change is happening the fastest. And today we are in the digital revolution, where we are calling the digital age. And now one term has become very popular, disruption. So they say you either get disrupted or you disrupt others. Disruption means that the way we were doing business is changing very fast. Today, virtual reality is becoming a tool for people to do meetings without actually meeting each other. Today, Facebook can recognize a face better than a human. So with all this big digital revolution happening, digital disruption happening, if we as companies, as businesses, we don't change and take advantage of this, soon we will get disrupted. Today in the newspaper we always hear, economy is down, the economy is suffering. But actually the economy is not down. It is the business models which are down. The old business models are dying and the new business models are coming. So it is not economy that is down, it is the business models that are changing. We are at a time where car sales are low, but Ola and Uber business is going up. Restaurants are going empty, but home delivery is booming, like Swiggy and Zomato. So again, real estate we keep saying is down, real estate is down, but if you look at the business model of co-living spaces or co-working spaces, now even offices, people are not buying. They're moving into offices where you can rent a table, you can rent 5 tables, or you can rent an entire office. And that market is booming. So again, we can see that even though in the news we read that market is down, but the business model is down. And the business model which is changing and using digitalization is doing well. Look at disruption that is going to come in the car industry. Today, car industry is suffering. And in the future, there's going to be electric cars. Already our government is saying by 2030, we want to go fully electric in India. So what will happen in the future when electric cars come in? Auto repair shops, mechanics will not be there anymore. Why will a mechanic not be there? Today, a petrol diesel engine has 20,000 parts in it. An electric car motor has only 20 parts. 20,000 parts coming down to only 20 parts. You will not need mechanics anymore to repair the cars. And the biggest loser will be oil companies, petrol companies, oil producing countries. They will lose their market because cars will run on electricity. So you can see as an example what will happen in the electric car market, and we should also be looking at what is going to happen in other industries. Looking at companies that did not change, we all know about Kodak. Kodak was a technology company, the market leader in photographic films. In the 20th century, it was one of the best companies. But Kodak had to file for bankruptcy in 2012. We all know in India, Nokia was very popular. Nokia was the phone we all used to love. They say that even an idiot can use Nokia. It was so easy to use. In the 90s and 2000s, it was the global leader in mobile phones. It did not evolve with software. Nokia did not understand about software and they were wiped out. If we don't learn from history, then we are bound to repeat history. History teaches us very important lessons. But if we don't learn from it, we will repeat it. And if we look at the companies that have learned these lessons, they have grown so fast that in the past 50 years, company never reached this kind of growth. So let us wake up to the 21st century challenges and opportunities. Another product change that we have done, so we are into the medical equipment business. We sell to hospitals. So hospitals need these big machines that do the testing. And now technology is making the machines smaller and smaller. And we are giving these small machines which can be done testing even at home. So if you're a patient, you can do testing at home, or you can even do the testing in a nursing home, or in a OPD setting, or in a PHC, primary health center. So you don't need to go to a big hospital to do the test. So in what happens generally, you get sick, you go to a doctor. The doctor will be like, okay, you go to the lab, do a test, and come back tomorrow. So patient has high fever, he goes to the doctor, doctor says, okay, malaria or dengue, you go to the lab में टेस्ट करके आओ और फिर कल आना. तो पेशेंट जाता है डॉक्टर, फिर लैब जाता है, रिपोर्ट कल मिलता है, फिर वापस डॉक्टर के पास जाता है. So what we have come out with is that you can do the test at the doctor's place. You don't need to go to the lab and again come back next day. So doctor can do the test at the doctor's clinic and he can give you the medicine the same day. So this is again a very big disruption, big change coming in my industry. And if we don't adopt this change, what market we are serving now will completely disappear. And already in US, 25% of the market has shifted to doctor testing, where the doctor does the test and he doesn't send you to the lab. So everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing themselves. So if we want to adapt to this change, first we have to change ourselves and we have to change our mindset, change our attitude if we want to get changed in this digital revolution. So with that, I would advise all of you all to start reading more about this, start knowing what is going on in the world, and I would especially thank the organizers to create of forum like this where you can come and learn new ideas and share new ideas and learn from each other. Thank you.